everybody.
Well, hi, how are you?
Hey, thank you.
It's not a special effect without a movie anymore.
Yeah, title has changed. Anyway, that's all right. So really, as far as I'm concerned, there's basically two ways to make something really memorable. One is really make sure you do all your prep. Practice a lot, iterate. Make sure that you're on top of you have all your ducks in a row. The other one is to wing it, and I'll let you guys guess which one we're going with here today. Just to kind of set the stage.
Is this the controller?
That looks like it.
You push the button.
All right, let's see what happens.
In keeping with, if there's somebody,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's never a good idea to commit to any sort of deadline without enough time, including getting notification at 3 p.m. that there's a slot open for you to do a talk. But you know what? We're gonna pull it off anyway, and it actually segues really nicely with the game that we're talking about today. So, as you may or may not know, hopefully you're going to find out soon, we developed a little scavenger hunt game, kind of in cooperation with the AWE organizers, that takes place in and around the conference center. Basically scavenger hunt, but it's got kind of an escape to Mars theme. We're working with Vuforia a bit to put it together. But just to give you some context for how it came together, this is kind of the timeline starting on about May 3rd to today, starting with Dave calls me. Who's Dave? I call Dave. They offer a booth. I don't know about that.
Dave's from AWE, apparently.
Dave is from AWE, and all of a sudden, next thing we know, we're building a game, and we have 3 weeks to do it. But that's great. So this is actually, we're like those developers walking into your room, asking for more time to finish. We're trying to find a way to blame it on DevOps, but that's not. They have all their ducks in a row, so we're in trouble. So, but this is actually exactly according to plan in a lot of ways, because my name, as I mentioned, is Ryan Chapman. This is Jeff Macpherson. We work for a Vancouver-based company called Motive.io, and what we're building are a set of tools that helps make it really easy to kind of build these kind of experiences quickly and easily. And so the game, in fact, is not actually even done yet. But again, that's actually according to plan. As I mentioned, we're from Vancouver. This is the first time we've been on site. Our tool is hopefully going to allow us to actually put together the targets that we're going to use in real time as we walk around the floor after this talk.
There's no pressure. The game is on the App Store right now. You can boot it up, and it'll say you have to wait till tomorrow morning. We have to leave this talk very soon because we have to go and finish the game.
Yeah.
So this is not a post-mortem. I was thinking it's a prenatal, but it's not. It's actually a...
more of a progress report.
I don't want to say the word because I feel like I'm going to say the wrong thing. But so here's some inspiration on the left here. This is Agent A, this really nice point-and-click adventure escape room thing. And this is our hotel room about an hour and a half ago using a Vuforia image. And that's our app. You're tracking it. And you can see we've done a little trick where you just tear a hole in the paper and look through the wall and collect the gem. So it's very important in a location-based game to get out there on location. We had no access to this location. We were just here, but I don't know what button to push.
Yeah, it's the green one.
OK. That's good design.
Yeah.
And so you need access to the location, which, beep. I don't believe it.
Top one.
Beep. There we go. We didn't have. So here you can see we accurately recreated this expo in this convention center in our office, in the kitchen. This is, when you have time, you have to use very quick shortcuts. In this instance, we're using Vuforia view marks to stand in for all the different booths that we intend to put our quests directly on in our puzzles. And the fastest way to grab an image, so this is view mark 29, 28, 27. The fastest way to test that to make sure that the right number is being picked up in our system is to get images of 28, 29, and that's the first image you get when you do Google Images. There's nothing special about that being a calendar. If you type in 28, that's what you get. So we need to, wow, the slide actually worked. Another way in which we've been able to pull this talk off, hopefully, with just a few hours' notice, is we use templates. This is a very nice deck template. But also our game and the system in which we're using is our templates. And Ryan can speak to how we get there.
So this allows me to segue a little bit into the platform and how we're using the platform to try to do this in a short period of time. So one of the core features that was important as we kind of started building out location-based games is that you need to be able to make changes on the fly. And so as Jeff mentioned with templates, what we usually do is we start with a template project. And with our motive system, Jeff is actually able to, as a creative director, start building out a lot of the gameplay really early in the cycle. So back at the beginning of May, I was able to provide Jeff with a template that allowed him to start programming the actual gameplay using our system. Now, Jeff doesn't actually have any programming background.
I'm a useless filmmaker and a screenwriter.
Useful filmmaker.
Yeah, well, I'm also Canadian, so I have to insult myself
Right.
on stage. But one of the things that we're able to do as well is we iterate. We work in parallel. There's no more me handing off Google Docs and documents to the engineers for them to try and put the writing or put the gameplay or change the timing. That's done directly by me. Walk the floor. These are the things we have to leave here immediately to do.
Yeah.
So what'll be interesting to see is if you guys download this, you can go to Mars. No, don't go to Mars yet. You go to motive.io/Mars, and it'll have a link to the Android and the App Store where you can get the game. It'll be very interesting to see. Well, you'll find out tomorrow if this succeeded or not. Yeah,
in fact, I believe that the ending still hasn't been written. Is that correct, Jeff?
Well, in the end, you escape. If you get to the booth, we have a nice banner. You'll do an AR scan. The door opens. Great fanfare. Nothing happens. I still need to figure out what that reward is at the end.
It's going to be great, though.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Confetti, maybe?
Yeah.
There we go. So, wow. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether this game works and what your feedback and experience is with it. And we're happy to answer any questions later. Thanks.